Hey guys, so in the first episode we talked about the creation of angels and demons. We also spoke about the eternal conflict and a group of renegade demons that broke off from the eternal conflict. But before we jump further into this video, if you guys like to see more of these to come, please like and subscribe so you can be notified when I release more. But let's continue. These group of renegade demons and angels, they created Sanctuary, and they also created the Nephalem by doing the dirty. So let's talk about that. Not the fornication. The birth of humanity. Nephilim. All the angels and demons procreated to give a birth to a lot, and I mean a lot, of Nephilim. The Nephilim were immortal just like their parents. The first generation of these children were called Ancients. And actually, the Ancients you fight in Diablo 2 are not of this generation. They come way later on. There were a lot, and I mean a lot, of these Ancients. They all separated in groups of population in different parts of Sanctuary, growing their unique beliefs and culture. Shortly after these cultural bringings, the angels and demons realized that their children were a lot stronger than them. I guess they only got the best parts of their parents. Lucky, right? The angels and demons debated for a while whether they should destroy their children, as they might be a threat to them, and they could be so strong that they can't hide their presence from the other angels and demons that they built Sanctuary to hide them from. Inarius was serious about these thoughts and was heavy in the destruction of the offspring than anything else. But he needed to be in solitude to think about his decision, as, in his mind, this could not be something you go back from. Lillith, as a true mother in the situation, did not want the genocide of her children. She became probably one of the most fierce mother bears ever known, killing all of the angels and demons while Inarius was in solitude. Don't fool this act with her compassion, it's far from that. Lilith saw the raw power of her offspring, and she wanted to use them to wage war against the angels and demons, bringing the end to the eternal conflict for good. Once Inarius came back and saw that Lilith had done what she'd done, he banished her to the void forever. It's kind of like putting a Pokemon in a Pokeball and never releasing it. But this led Inarius to be alone with his children, and at this point he could not bring himself to kill all his children. So instead, he changed the frequency of the World Stone so that over generations, the Nephilim would become weaker and weaker, and eventually they would become mortals. By weakening this over time, they became mortal, and a lot of dark years happened as the confusion of why they were becoming weaker happened. Soon, the ancients became a thing of folklore and legends, becoming a near unbelievable tale of strong beings that once were able to do unspeakable acts. But let's not get too far ahead of ourselves. Let's talk about these ancients and the first of their kind. First, let's talk about Fiat Legler. He was the brother of Bokathos and was once a barbarian. But he believed a different path than the barbarian. He believed that by obtaining spirituality with the land that he was sworn to protect, making in time the School of the Druid. You actually hear about this school in the DLC of Diablo 3. Now, Fiat Legler and his brother got along, even though they saw different paths in how to move forward. Now let's talk about Bokathos. Bokathos believed in martial arts, pure arm warfare, and the warrior way. He organized tribes in the area and trained them how in his vision, and soon this unified a group that became known as the Children of Bokathos, or as we all know them, barbarians. Another ancient named Esu became the controller of elemental magic. She taught her students how to control these elements, and these students later on became to be known as Sorceresses. Esu had an opposite opinion of the path of the World Stone than Bokathos. She sought to control it, not to protect it. Now, we could keep talking about all the, you know what, never mind. We will keep talking about all the ancients that eventually brought the classes that we know and love. Then there was an ancient called Philios. He was in love with one of his aunts, angels, Lakander. When Lilith was on her murdering spree of all the angels, Lakander escaped back to the high heavens. They somehow found a way to contact each other with an artifact called the Sightless Eye. Soon, the other angels in the heavens realized that Lakander was very distracted, much like a teenager nowadays. And they became nosy in the situation. Lakander warned Philios to hide the Sightless Eye, and he did so on the island of Skavos. Philios, due to his broken contact and his long-distance relationship, he eventually fell in love with another ancient, and they had twin daughters. The daughters would go to find the Sightless Eye, and afterwards they found the Ascari, known commonly for us in the games as the Amazons. Finally, let's talk about Lanarion, the first ancient born of Lillith and Inarius. He studied the cycle of life and death, and taught this to others. He realized that the eternal conflict between the angels and demons would never end, and that they were a threat to the sanctuary and the nephalem. He was one of the nephalem that was aware of his father's plan to commit genocide to his people, and he amassed a group of nephalem to fight back this plan. Soon he realized that Inarius was killing nephalem that planned to rebel against him, so he faked his death, and he fled to another realm called the Null, where he met an entity called Trag'Oul. Trag'Oul took Lanarion under his wing and helped him further learn the balance of the great cycle of being, which seeks keeping the balance between light and dark, or order and chaos, or angels and demons. Trag'Oul gave Lanarion a new name, and he is now known as Rathma. So, moving forward, will we talk about Trag'Oul and who he is? What path is ahead of Rathma? What happens if the angels and demons find out about Sanctuary? Will Lilith ever come back out of her Pokeball? What happens to Inarius? You guys, thank you so much for watching these videos. I hope you guys like them, and please like and subscribe if you guys would like to see more of this content, and I will be releasing more of this content. We'll continue on the next video.